beams through to be the strongest it's been so far this afternoon, and we are underway in round 4 of Division 2, and Cruiser gets the first tap down, but it's Harvey with hands to the ball first for North Heidelberg. Ball goes up towards half forward. Jesse Tadio comes in, handballs off to the side. Now a little handball out, a right foot kick inside the forward 50. He's just going to hang over the heads of everyone, and it should roll out for a throw-in on that far side. The kick coming from Kyle McDonald in the centre square.
McDonald playing his 7th senior game of football, 2 of those at VFL level for the Northern Blues, as the umpire now throws the ball back into play. It was Scannell going up against Cruiser. Cruiser had front spot tapped to the front of the pack, and the crowd emerges. Umpire calls for a secondary stoppage, still 30 metres out from the North Heidelberg goal. It's Hurstbridge kicking to the club room end. And North Heidelberg now with Cruiser with a big tap from the back of the pack. Plenty of numbers again around this footy. Trying to do some work there was East. It's almost a scrimmage here, rugby-like. And again, the umpire calls for the football for the 3rd time. The ball's still 35 metres out from North Heidelberg's goal.
There's going to be another ball up. Cruiser underneath. It was pushed out from underneath the ruck contest and will receive a free kick for it. So John Cruiser, a former Epping player himself, another one who made the move over to Hurstbridge in recent years. Hands off to another one of his former Epping teammates in Tilly in the back pocket, who kicks out wide towards the far side of the ground, and Nicholas Milne couldn't reel in the mark before the boundary line beat him. Throw in.
So ball far side of the ground. Neither side yet to score. We've gone only 1.5 minutes here. Ben Freelay Oval, Hurstbridge up against North Heidelberg. Michael Florence won the tap at the front of that contest there. Lee Gilbert was there for North Heidelberg. Errant handball though gave a task for his teammate there, and in the end the boundary line beats all comers. So it's been an odd start to this game so far, but neither side able to really get any clean possession at any stage. Jared Tilley with the only real clear kick of this contest as Cruiser wins it down again to that man Tilley. He's wrapped up straight away, and I'll say one thing, the tackling pressure's been right up in the opening 2 minutes of this contest.
Looks like Luke Valenti starting at full back for North Heidelberg against Dale Eames in the goal square. Ball thrown up on the far side wing. Ball comes back down in the chase for it. It's Thompson, I think, just bounces over his head. Gets on the end of it. He can run in on 50 now from 45 metres out. Keeps it low, keeps it not straight. Just goes out to the left, and Hurstbridge get it behind on the board. I think that was Mitch Burton who was running in, or Ryan Burton.
It might have been Tommy Simpson actually. After
was
all
it?
that, yeah, he's gone the different look now with the shorter haircut now, and the first minor score on the board is Ryan Doherty to bring the ball in for North Heidelberg, the former Reservoir Premiership captain, and he's going to go along with that prodigious right foot kick that he possesses, and it's a good kick too. Florence front spot takes the chest mark, and now North Heidelberg can move. Handball off to Jake Brown, who kicks wide, and it's a good kick too. Mark taken by Kyle Green, who's just 17 years old, has been a real standout so far for North Heidelberg in his time there, and that's a great kick there. And their first genuine foray forward lands in the hands of Trent Scannell, who's marked on 50 here, probably a bit smaller than 50, but he's right up on the boundary line.
Left foot kick. It's a wobbly old kick, but it'll go all the way to the goal line, but it just hangs out to the left. And an early behind as well for North Heidelberg. Brings scores back to 1-1.
Dan, anything you've noticed in the opening 3 minutes?
Just North Heidelberg was sensational bringing the ball out from defence. They had a couple of plays spreading across the wing, and Hurstbridge just couldn't run with them.
There's a long kick out now from Hurstbridge in the direction of Tom Grimes. Beat all comers. No one really got a hand on it. Mullane now putting the pressure on Doherty. He shoveled one out, but the umpire said it had gone out of bounds just as Matt Marnie took possession of the ball, so it's a throw-in. 60 out from North Heidelberg's goal. 1 point apiece opening stages of this contest here. Ball now off the hands of the pack. Kyle McDonald grubbers one forward, looking for Tadio, but the kick was wide and bouncing out of bounds. A few hot, deliberate decisions played last night in the AFL, a lot more lenient at grassroots level.
I'll keep quiet about that rule. I think my thoughts have been well clear.
Throw in here, left half forward for the Bulldogs. Ball comes back in, tap down there from Florence underneath the pack. There looks like it was Green going in and under. Little handball out. A lot of players around this vicinity on left half forward. Umpire's going to call for it.
Very stagnant start to this one. Just no free-flowing movement at all off half-back from either side as Cruiser against Florence, both wearing the 35 jumper. Tap North Heidelberg's way now. The kick inside 50 from Marnie was a good one, and a strong mark overhead's taken. And man with the football in his hands is Daniel Bramich, and he'll go back with the best opportunity for the opening goal. He'll shoot from 25. No, he's handballed off to Harvey, and he'll stream into the open goal and miss. So probably handball not required there. You would have felt Bramich from close range And probably would have backed Harvey in as well on the run there, but his shot was always narrow. So it's North Heidelberg with the lead for the first time. They're 2 points. Hurstbridge, the one behind.
Long kick out from full-back, goes straight up the guts. They all set themselves just in front of the centre circle. Off a few hands, Scannell hands that one backwards. Habji picks it up, back edge of the centre square, spits out a handball. He's under pressure, almost sandwiched by 3 Hurstbridge players. Luckily, Jake Brown was there to clean up. Gives off a 1-2 with Scannell. Brown again being pushed back into his own defensive 50, having to link up. Brown's found himself at full-back now, but he's racked up 3 handballs in the process. And then finds a releasing kick to the back pocket, the mark taken, and 50 metres as well.
So it's Lee Gilbert now with the footy, and he just charged into a Hurstbridge opponent. So is that going to be a double 50? Is it? I thought Gilbert might have run at the opponent there. So it's 2 50s, and that's going to bring Lee Gilbert from full back to just about within scoring range. Not a very long round here at Hurstbridge, so the man on the mark will stand on defensive 50 for Hurstbridge. So maybe a fraction too far out the score, but we do know he's a goal kicker, Lee Gilbert, formerly of Greensborough. I believe a premiership player there, premiership captain at North Heidelberg in 2014, and a noted goal kicker now. So Lee Gilbert comes in. Right foot kick on goal. Won't quite have the carry. Wide anyway. Off hands. Ball stays in play here. Lots of numbers around the footy and allowed in the end to just trickle out of bounds right behind the behind post. We've gone here in the opening quarter 6 minutes. Neither side with a goal. It's North Heidelberg leading by 1 point.
There's one short of a Barry Hall moment there. 350s up the ground. Ball thrown back in. Cruiser taps that one down. Simpson got a hand to it first, and that one's...
Holding, I think, paid out of that one.
Yep, so Tilly's emerged from the bottom of the pack, holding his head. That's going to be James Thompson, I should say. Pardon me, not Simpson. Gives the handball off, and they drive this one up the middle. Underneath it is East, but a big mark over the top from Florence. Stood tall in the contest against 2 others and took the mark in front of the circle. Handball's off to Gilbert, who spreads that one out to the far side now. Collecting it is a Susan. Susan wants to go further out to the wing. Mark is taken now by McDonald. On the far edge of the centre square, McDonald chips that one up to just outside 50. Not a great kick, though. Evaded his teammate there in Buchanan. And now mopping up across half-back is Hurstbridge. This is Shaw. Shaw puts that one on the right Brit, sends it up the flank, and it's just going to trickle out of bounds off hands. Coming off the hands last of Robert Graham. It'll be thrown in just in front of dead centre wing on that far side of the ground.
So neither side really able to get any real great entries forward at the moment. It's been very sparse in the first 7 minutes as tackles laid off the contest there, and we'll have another ball up.
It's just the sort of footy both sides are playing, I think, though. They're all going man-on-man. We saw that mark taken up forward by North Heidelberg before. It was just a well-contested man-on-man mark.
As Oserson collects from the stoppage there, but his kick is wide, violently so. That's out of bounds on the full, so Hurstbridge a chance to set up again. Tilly, well, no, he won't take it. He'll dish this one off. And is it Redding on the far side of the ground?
Yep.
A short kick straight into the man on the mark, so he couldn't get that one through. The scrap continues, and now a chance for North Heidelberg. Gilbert dishes back by hand to Harvey, who's on his left foot now. Still a nice kick up the line. Ball in dispute. Harvey had pushed on, but it's going to be turned over now. Hurstbridge with all the numbers streaming forward. Tilly in the centre of the ground. Kicks towards centre half forward. His target there was Milne. Pushed under it, but a nice handball chain. Could this be the first goal? It's going to be downfield. The free kick will go to, it looks to me to be Ryan Burton, and the free kick will be paid. Will be downfield. His shot on goal was wide, but I think the umpire will say that the free kick came as he kicked, and it's going to be a Hurstbridge ball with Ryan Burton.
So Burton was running in on goals. A nice little handball off from Eames, but he'd cop a bump on the way through.
Wrong Burton, sorry. It might be Mitch Burton rather, not Ryan.
Free out there, so you can pick from either one of them.
Yeah, change of number, I think, as well. He was listed as being number 46. We're in the number 20 today.
I think Mitch is the more wilder of them. He's got the sleeve tattoo, he's got the short hair, he's got the right foot kick on goal, and he's got the first goal of the afternoon as well. Mitch Burton puts through the opener. Hurstbridge 1-1-7, North Heidelberg just the 2 behinds. We've already gone 9 minutes in the first quarter.
It took a while, and we've seen some odd things. That the turnover, obviously, from Hurstbridge from the kick out when you kick into the man and mark, but also at North Heidelberg, they had all the numbers. They fumbled the ball at half forward. It resulted in a coast-to-coast play. Some great hands there by Dale Eames, streaming out from full forward. He was the one who released off to Mitch Burton. Fantastic bit of work, just so clean below his knees, and it results now in the first goal of the contest as the ruckmen go at it again. Doing the ruck work there was Clark for Hurstbridge, but it's North Heidelberg through McDonald trying to extract, kick towards full forward's a good one. And the mark taken on the long lead for North Heidelberg by Edmondson, the man that Dan Campbell suggested might be the one that goes forward in the absence of Hewitt, and he's marked it 40 metres out, 45-degree angle, a chance for the fast reply.
It'll be a great opportunity here for North Heidelberg to reclaim the 1-point lead.
Got a blood rule at the moment. Gives us an opportunity just quickly around the grounds. Division 3, St Mary's, 1 goal straight, 6 Merndy to score. Banyule 2-1-13, Kilmore 1 goal straight, 6. Heidelberg West leads South Morang 2-1-13 to 2 goal straight, 12. And Watsonia 1-2-8, Epping the 3 behinds.
So Edmondson just waiting for play to resume as Hurstbridge defenders congregate on the goal line. It's going to take a big effort here from Edmondson. He's starting his run from about 60 metres out. The man on the mark is standing about 45 metres out, so he's giving himself a bit of space. Luke Edmondson, the new recruit, kicks from on the paint of 50. Right foot on the way. Umpire's underneath it. Umpire doesn't move. And North Heidelberg get their first goal of the afternoon. 1-1-7 Hurstbridge, 1-2-8 North Heidelberg. They lead by 1.
It was almost like we needed that first goal just to kickstart both the sides there, Dan. Obviously, it took us a good 9 minutes to get the first through. Mitch Burton off Hurstbridge, and Luke Edmondson replies with the next clearance from the centre.
Yeah, you can call me Nostradamus, I think, that he could be the one up forward there for North Heidelberg, but it was fantastic to see him get on the end of one there, and a bit of a Dennis Lilly run-up too.
So ball now back in the middle. Hurstbridge to extract the ball. Handball wide. Wasn't the cleanest one to Jolly, but he made it work really well. He was good in traffic there. A chain of handballs has been stolen now by North Heidelberg. That was Marcus Hill who threw the ball on the left boot, but it was only as far as Bryce Mullane taking a diving mark on the half-back flank.
The shag of Mullane across the back edge of the square. Left foot kick to the near side of the ground.
Great kick.
Strong mark taken on the near side. That one claimed by Reece Frost, a new man this season for Hurstbridge. On the right boot, sends that one inside the forward 50, 30 metres out underneath it. Valandi crashed the pack out the back. Habshi waits for it to sit. Hill grabs it out of the air and spreads it out of defence, but he's turned it straight over. Redding takes a mark 55 out from goal. Hurstbridge, I've got numbers inside as well. Redding on the right boot, helicopter ball towards centre half forward, and the man standing all by himself was Nicholas Milne, 35 metres out directly in front.
It's a fantastically weighted kick, that one, because they had numbers all the way back there, North Heidelberg. It was Michael Florence in the hole there. It would have been very easy to bomb it long, but he waited his best option. Yeah,
it was just that poor kick out of defence, wasn't it, by the youngster. It allowed a fellow youngster in Reading to just float in, take the overhead mark. And now an opportunity for Milne, who is a noted goal scorer, led their goal kicking in 2010 in their premiership year, and that kick there has just hung out to the right, so it's a minor score. And with that, after 12 and a half minutes, scores are level, 1 goal, 2-8 apiece. The goal kicker so far, Mitch Burton for Hurstbridge and Luke Edmondson for North Heidelberg.
Kick out from full back, and the umpire just spotted something on the far side of the ground.
Yeah, it's the water boy, I think, on the ground there. It was that 50-metre penalty. It's going to go against. It's a North Heidelberg one, it might be. So inside the 50. We don't see that one paid too often. And it's a free kick to Hurstbridge. 50 out directly in front. It's going to Tom Simpson.
So what happened there? Was he on the field?
Can't be inside the 50 when there's a kick out. So
young man.
Should only actually be out in the ground after goals are scored, actually. But the chance now for Simpson, who we know is a noted goal kicker, 74 goals in his 47 senior games, debuted as a 16-year-old, and a chance here for the second for Hurstbridge.
Hasn't hit it too well, though. It goes all the way to the line, and it just fades across to the left. So another behind added on to Hurstbridge's total. They move to 139. They lead by 1. North Heidelberg, 128.
So this time here, it's going to be Harvey out of fullback, and he chips one straight down the middle. It's a beauty. Didn't spend too long in the air, that one there. Straight onto the chest of Ryan Doherty, who's playing on straight away and kicking wide. Two of the better kicks in the competition there, Harvey to Doherty. And now he kicks off for Yetzi in the long sleeves. He goes on his right boot and he's kicked towards centre half forward. Well, it's an interesting one. It's a ball in dispute now. Tardio ran through. There was a hold there. It's North Heidelberg's ball. And it's in the hands of the youngster Kyle Green, in a similar spot to where Tom Simpson had his shot just moments earlier. 50 out directly in front. The youngster, 11 senior games in 2004, 15 in Division 1. He's played the 2 games already this year. He's been one of the better players for North. The chance to put his side back in front. And he comes in now. It's a long approach. Kyle Green gets on the left foot. Shot on goal is fading late. Had the carry comfortably, just not the accuracy. And scores are once again tied up. It's 1 goal, 3-9 apiece. We have gone now in this first quarter, 14 and a half minutes. And the ball now in the hands of Jared Tilley.
We've had a lot of set shots in this first quarter. We've gone 14, almost 15 minutes here as Tilly releases with a long kick to the far side, and no mark taken there from Graham. Ball will hit the deck and go out of play.
Around the grounds, Meadows Greyhounds Division 1, Northcote Park 128 leads McLeod's 128 leads Northcote 1 straight 6. West Preston hasn't scored. Heidelberg 3 goals 119.
Ball comes spinning back into play from the throw in. Habshy had a hand to it. A string of handballs gets it off to Tilly. Left foot kick towards the 50. Burton has to wait for it to bounce out the back. Burton almost collected it in the pocket, but Eames came the other way and spoiled him his teammate. And Brown now collects in the back pocket. Valenti, not a great kick to find Marcus Hill on the far side. It takes a bounce and pitches out of play. Throw in left half forward, just outside the 50 here for the Bridges.
So nothing separating these sides in the early stages. Hasn't quite been the game we were perhaps expecting early on, but I'm sure as the game picks up the pace also will, as a kick hacked forward now for Hurstbridge and again directed towards the boundary line, just for touch almost there. And we'll have a throw-in front of the old scoreboard here at Hurstbridge, now defunct scoreboard. It would read 139 apiece if it was still in operation. Ball deep in the Bridges forward 50 as the ruckman prepare to go at it. Flying over the top there was Yetzi with the big Specky as third man up. Ball in dispute now at ground level. Good tackle laid towards the boundary by Jake Brown. In the end, he takes his Hurstbridge man across the line and will have a throw-in, 40 out from the Hurstbridge attacking goal.
So a third consecutive throw-in from this position on the ground, just in front of the club rooms on that far side, or our far side as it is. Brown goes in and under, puts the head down, collects it, emerges with it. Handballs now to the outside and a right foot kick from half back, just dribbles into the centre square. Coming back the other way, Scannell had to get it off to a teammate. Kicking that one around the body was Secuso. That one hits a man and goes out of play on that far side in front of all the fans who are pitched up on the hill in front of the club rooms.
So 1 goal, 3-9 apiece here. 16 and a half played. Won't be a long quarter, mind you. We have had plenty of stoppages, throw-ins and ball ups. So the ball now in tight traffic, handballed out of there for North Heidelberg by Edmondson. And now a throw is going to be paid. It's going to be a North ball. And it's in the hands of, looks to be Louis Hill, who goes by hand to Jesse Tardio. But he's forced to backtrack. His kick is wide and just finds Florence inside the boundary line. And he handballs backwards to Lee Gilbert. It's a short and measured approach here from North Heidelberg. The kick towards Kyle Green wasn't a great one, and it allowed Clark to get in and force a spoil out of bounds. We'll have a throw in. 55 out from the North Heidelberg goal.
Sun is shining here at Ben Freeley Oval. Ball comes back into play from the throw in at centre half forward here for North Heidelberg. Florence got the tap down. Looks like it was Lewis Hill who got the handball out. A kick from the forward pocket. And it just drifts out to the right hand side. I think it came there from Kyle Green from in the pocket. So just another behind added on to North Heidelberg's total. Moves them to 1-4-10. They lead by 1 behind against Hurstbridge.
And the ball now being prepared to be brought into play. Plenty of Hurstbridge numbers running towards the bench side of the ground as the long kick in the direction there and will force underneath that football there was Joel Dale at the back. Couldn't be taken there by Brown, but he was good enough to handball. Harvey now, left foot kick's a good one. On the stretch, Florence, who prefers to go by hand, it seems, as he goes back to Harvey, and his kick's a good one, but two North Heidelberg players colliding there. Ball in dispute. Great tackle laid there. Ground level. That looked to be Louis Hill. And we'll have a ball up. 60 out from North Heidelberg's goal. Just 1 point separating the sides after 18 minutes.
So another stoppage here on the wing. Underneath it, Florence got the tap down. Simpson collects it first though for Hurstbridge and it's wrapped up immediately, umpire. We've gone 18 and a half in the first term. 1-3 plays 1-4. Not too much to speak of apart from the overall stagnancy of this first term. As that ball's locked up and we'll have another stoppage.
Just some of the key matchups inside Hurstbridge's forward 50. It's Ryan Doherty, the man that's gone to Chris Burton, the leading goal scorer for Hurstbridge so far this year. And at the moment, Yetzi is the man standing on Robert Graham.
Tardio takes his man down in a tackle. Sean Jelly, who's resuming his role this season as captain of Hurstbridge.
Of course, Robert Graham and Ryan Doherty opposite sides today, but both part of Reservoir's premiership last season. Susan
as well was one of them as the right foot kick goes inside the forward 50, but a good defensive mark taken out the back there by Barbera. He was highly rated last year by his former coach Michael Ryan, called him a good nuggety back pocketer. Missed a lot of last season though, so good to see him back in the team. His kick goes to Tilly. Tilly goes out to the far side. Mitch Burton couldn't take the mark. Getting there first, looks like it was might have been Brody Tardy. In fact, it was Zach Gleeson. And umpire is given holding the ball because Gleeson didn't get rid of it. And so it'll be Burton, who handballs off immediately to Tilly on the left boot, swings one towards centre half forward. Coming out to meet it with a fine mark at centre half forward was Dale Eames, who presented well and went straight up the middle of the forward 50 and took it 45 metres out.
Well, Dan, finally some more direct play, and unsurprisingly leads to a mark inside forward 50 for Hurstbridge.
Yeah, this is an opportunity they've really got to take because both sides have been terrible around goal so far.
So Dale Eames, who we've seen playing defence in the past for Hurstbridge, he's been playing out of the forward goal square in this first term for Hurstbridge. Right foot kick on the way, looks pretty good, just hangs out to the left at the last moment. And that brings Hurstbridge level again on 1-4 apiece.
So it's 10 plays 10 as we tick into red time of this first quarter. Just waiting for the ball to be collected from behind the fence. We'll go around the grounds. Meadows Greyhounds Division 1. Whittlesea 1 goal straight, 6 Eltham 4 behinds. Bundoora is 1-8 trailing Lowell Plenty 2 goals straight, 12. The ball now back in the hands of Ryan Doherty as he prepares to bring the ball back out. It's a short kick for Ghaziassi. And he plays on straight away, going across the face of his goal. It's a dangerous one. He needs Doherty to shepherd, which he does. And now as he kicks outside of the defensive 50, but a big mark taken on the far side of the ground.
That was a hanger.
Not paid, I think, in the end, because the advantage is played. And the shot on goal is there. Might have come from the boot of Braden Shaw. Well, the mark's certainly not paid because it's not advantage from any marks. It's unfortunate. It would have been a contender for the Midas Greensborough play of the day, but it looked like Braden Shaw charged through to kick the goal, and it is now Hurstbridge with a 1-goal advantage. 2 goals 4-16. North Heidelberg 1 goal 4-10.
Well, that's one of the greatest passages of play we'll probably see today and for the season as well. It's just fantastic just to see a goal kicked against the flow there to maybe open things up a bit.
As the Rucks now go at it again. Cruiser was in there for Hurstbridge. North Heidelberg coming away with the ball, but the kick towards halfback's going to be cut off, and it looks like it's East who's got back to take the mark. And the kick is wide. Hurstbridge, just a measured approach here. The long lead coming from the wing from Simpson was ignored. Standing by himself still Grimes, but the shorter options taken. This is Jolly, one of the co-captains. Kicks towards the wing, and a strong overhead mark taken by Grimes, who's off straight away, kicking inside 50 off the instep. It works out well low. And taking the mark on the lead is Chris Burton, who's booted 8 goals already this year. It was a nice build-up there. From here it looked like it was a miscue, but nevertheless, marked right in front of the eyes there by Chris Burton. Not much any defence can do about that one, Jordan.
It's the second time in a row now we've seen a Hurstbridge forward take a mark and about 35-40 metres out from that central corridor on the forward 50.
Yeah, with that fast ball movement, isn't it? Doesn't allow defence to get back there for North Heidelberg, but again Burton hangs that one out to the right. It's been some poor kicking at goal from pretty gettable range, it has to be said, early days here. And Hurstbridge 2 goals 5-17. North Heidelberg 1-4-10.
Had no follow through on the kick. Chris Burton just poked at it and let his boot hang. As Doherty prepares to kick out from full back. Goes straight up the middle with a big long kick to just forward of the centre circle. A mark over the top, not paid there to Frost. Ball hits the ground inside the centre square, and the umpire will have it. We've gone 22, almost 23 minutes now in the first term. 2-5 plays 1-4. Hurstbridge, they lead by 7 as the ball's thrown up again. Volante's put himself in the ruck. And taking his man to ground is McDonald.
High, I think, paid out of that one.
High tackle.
It is Mitchell Dale, the first gamer.
50 here.
Yeah, and he will receive a 50 because the man was bumped off the ball. That was Simpson. And so Simpson will be marched to inside the forward 50, directly in front, and he'll have a shot for what would be his first goal of the day after missing 2 set pieces early on.
Well, Matt Marnie was the culprit and dragged straight from the field. I'd imagine there might be a few choice words from Steve Saddington there, because he puts Dale right in scoring range. It is his first game, and what a great way to start if he can kick a goal on debut. He comes in now, Mitch Dale, shot on goal is through, and look at them get around him. Mitchell Dale scores a goal on debut, and Hurstbridge moves to 3-5-23. North Heidelberg 1 goal 4-10. We've gone so far in this opening quarter 24 minutes. The Bridge is out to a match high lead. It is 13 points.
Well, great to see all the boys get around Dale there on that occasion. That was one they simply couldn't afford to kind of let slip, because they've been so great in the last 5 minutes, Hurstbridge, of hitting up that target inside forward 50.
Yeah, well, they have to now really make, get a reward for their effort, because they have controlled the past 5 minutes, and they're starting to make it known on the scoreboard, and they're driving forward once again. A big worm-burning ball towards full forward. Bramich nearly took a fire mark overhead. It is paid. That might well be 50 as well, as Eames socketed the ball through for a goal, but a great defensive mark taken there by Daniel Bramich, who's now been switched to full back.
Bramich, sporting Dermot Brereton's former hairstyle. Gives that one short into the defensive 50.
Dermy might wish he had kept his old one.
Gaziasi takes a mark in the back pocket. Samuel Zito proceeds to face palm next to me. Jesse Tardio works his way out of traffic and kicks all the way back to fullback. Doherty marks. Doherty at fullback, spreads that to the opposite side of the ground now towards right half back. Pitches that one out in front of Habchi, who collects, shrugs a man, and he cops a bump on the way through as well. Habchi continues on, kick up the wing, finds Green, he marks, and just stops, waits for troops to get past, feigns one way, then the other. Handballs to the outside now. Yetzi, the new man, right foot kick, inside the forward 50 to full forward underneath. I think it was Louis Hill going for the mark, but in the end it was East who took it at full back for Hurstbridge.
Yeah, Edmondson was loose and he was screaming for that football, wasn't happy when it didn't go in his direction. I think he had cause to be upset as that's a poor kick coming out of defence, made to get low there. Looks like it was Simpson there at ball and dispute forward pocket here for North Heidelberg. Can they conjure up a goal in the pocket? Marcus Hill, can he squeeze one through? He couldn't quite collect and he was rushed out of bounds. Of a throw in right behind the point post for North Heidelberg. They trail after 25 and a half minutes. 1-4-10, Hurstbridge 3-5-23.
So ball will be thrown in now inside the forward 50 for the Bulldogs. Vellani tips that one down. Shaw gets first hands to it. Now Redding, now Tilly, centre half back. A wobbly old kick towards the centre square. No mark taken there. Perhaps a dropped opportunity there for the North Heidelberg man. Coming through there, Bramage. Just got a boot to it, but was taken down. Umpire says taken down unfairly, so he'll receive a free kick.
Tackle just lingered too long there. It was clean work out of the defence there by Hurstbridge. It was just missing that final bit of execution off half back as Bramage shorts one now to Trent Scannell. Still too far at the score. Right in the heart of Ben Freelay Oval, standing on one of the two circles inside the centre square. Short ball's a good one, and Shane Harvey streaming through centre half forward takes the mark overhead, and he'll go back and shoot from right on 50, very slight angle. Get back the champion from here.
Oh, he definitely would. He's been a standout today, I think, with his clean disposal around the ground and his ability to get into space. This is the last person that Hurstbridge would want with the footy lining up for goal in the dying stages of the quarter.
Around the ground, Diamond Creek off to a great start against Thomastown. 3-2-20. Thomastown just the one behind. So Shane Harvey now. Prodigious goal scorer, we know. Not yet on the goal sheet this afternoon. That shot on goal is straight through the middle. The goal umpire did not move, and after an earlier blemish, Harvey makes no mistake that time around. North Heidelberg now moved to 2 goals 4-16. Hurstbridge is 3 goals 5-23. We've gone now 27 and a quarter minutes in the opening term.
Well, that's one that Hurstbridge wouldn't want. Might be a little bit filthy on, having worked their way out to that 13-point lead, but in red time they're giving up a goal, especially to the likes of Shane Harvey.
So 23 plays 16 as the ball is restarted in the middle. There's another stoppage immediately from that first one. So Cruiser and Florence in the ruck. Cruiser taps that one down easily to Tilly. Not a great clearance though. Took a hand on the way through. Comes back out now to McDonald, who tries to shrug one. Handballs over the top now to Marcus Hill. Marcus Hill pushing it forward towards centre half forward. Now into the pocket. Hill continued on, but Barbera just plucked it out of the air and worked his way beautifully through traffic. Backing back, handballing to Thompson. Handballing now to Jelly and back to Barbera. The fourth handball though wasn't a great one. Redding mistimed it. Tardio collects it. Now off to Hill. Hill swings one around the corner. Scannell marks 25 metres out on a good lead.
How quickly the game can change. Earlier, it looked like Hurstbridge was running away with it. That poor ball into the middle as he's gone quickly. Scannell, and he missed. They liked it off the boot, but umpire said no, missed to the left-hand side. So the margin now, 6 points in Hurstbridge's favour, 2-5-17 North Heidelberg. The Bridges, 3-5-23. Just going to say, it would have been 2 goals in 2 minutes for North.
Good to see all the North Heidelberg players getting around Marcus Hill, who set up that bit of play, but that is the quarter time siren. And at the first break of the day, it is Hurstbridge leading by a goal. It is 3-5-23 Hurstbridge to North Heidelberg, 2-5-17.
I think it's safe to say, guys, the game certainly picked up once we hit the 20-minute mark. It was pretty stagnant early on, but both sides just seemed to find their running game as the quarter went on. And now it's really evenly poised as we go to the first break. North Heidelberg, as we just wait for the final patrons to make their way up in front of the canteen area here at Ben Freelay Oval. And to start the quarter off, it'll be Jordan Canales also calling with myself, Samuel Zito, and Dan Campbell, who just then spoke with Rob Dyson at ground level. So all patrons off, umpire now just waiting for one last one to come from behind the goals, and then we're ready to go here. Hurstbridge leading by 6 points at the quarter-time break.
3-5-23 Hurstbridge leading North Heidelberg. North Heidelberg 2-5-17. Hurstbridge kicking to the Arthurs Creek road end in this quarter as the ball is thrown up and Tardio gets the first hands to it. Handballs backwards to Florence, and then Florence goes inside forward 50, looking for a man, looking for a target, looking for Harvey. Harvey looking for a goal. Harvey only gets it behind though. North Heidelberg now 2-6-18. They trail by 5. Early start to the second quarter. Harvey with his second behind of the afternoon. He's kicked 1 goal 2 as the ball comes out the near side. Thompson looking for the mark. Ball at ground level. Grimes handballs out the side. Jelly's in there. Barbera is met hard by Green. You heard that slap in the effects mic. And there'll be a ball up right in front of our commentary position underneath the scoreboard.
Dan, any noticeable wind out there in the quarter time break?
No, definitely not. It's pretty still out there, actually.
Shaw had it stripped off him as he went for the kick. Cruiser gathered, kicks into the centre square now. Mullane rose high with a big jump to try and tap it to a teammate's advantage. To no avail though as Jake Brown came through. He's tackled and holding the ball. And so it'll be a free kick here for Hurstbridge. Around the back edge of the centre square. Milne has it. Gets on the right and pumps that one towards half forward. It bounces over the head of a teammate, coming out to meet it Eames. And then running after it again, I think it might have been Burton, but Bramage just keeps it in the field of play, almost went out there. Bramage handballs off to Yetzi. Yetzi's handball not great. Tardio gathers, sidesteps one, takes a bounce down the wing. That's a bit quick. Almost caught there by Mitch Burton. Tardio gets it inside the forward 50. Barbera's there. He rounds his man in green, and Barbera comes out the near side. Good composure and great vision as well. Beautiful kick to Sean Jelly in defence. A short one back to Barbera. He's worked central now. Standing in the heart of the defensive 50 here for the Bridges. Barbera goes right up the middle. Not a great kick. Florence came in from the side. Got a big palm to it. Burton coming through though. Arches the back and then gets it on the right boot. A wobbly kick towards half forward. Meeting it on the bounce there. I think it was Frost. Off to Simpson. Simpson delivers to the forward pocket. Looking for the man in the forward pocket in Eames who couldn't take the mark. Off the hand. And umpire says throw it in. Fast back and forth play early here in the second quarter. So we're going to have a throw in. A lot of players a bit unresponsive to that. There is a stoppage though, and the players are a bit slow getting to there. Yetzi doing the rock work. I guess that says a lot. Slaps that one out to Brown at centre half back. Over the top, Valenti into the centre square now. Gilbert just gets it on the boot and works it forward. Looking for a teammate leading out, but there was no one there. Kicks it into no man's land inside the North Heidelberg forward 50. High free kick. And so Hurstbridge will have it again in their defence. 35 metres out from their own goal in the arms of Ryan Burton.
And he shorts one wide to Mullane. In fact, it's not Mullane this time here. It's James Thompson. Tyrone Loader look like they're in a short kick now wide for Burton, who shorts another kick up the line. It's been well worked so far, just running under the foot at that time there. Another ball at the back of the pack off feet. And running under that footy was Nick Milne. He thought he might have landed a bit awkwardly. He was slow to his feet, but he seems to be okay now, which is good. 3 minutes played in this quarter. Just the one behind, which was kicked by Harvey. So it's North 18 trailing Hurstbridge 23. And Yetzi took the ball away from the pack and handball over the top. Another chain of handballs now for North. And the kick inside 50 from Brown. Looking for Scannell. Probably had his jumper held there, not given. And Grimes can see the ball run out of bounds. And we'll have a throw-in 15 metres out from the North Heidelberg goal. They are kicking to the clubroom end of Ben Freeley Oval.
So ball to be thrown in near side of the grounds. Of course, this is the only ground I think in the Northern Footy League that has black lines painted on the deck instead of white. As Cruiser flips that one down to Barbera, who put his head under. Could have copped a high there, but umpire says he did it knowingly, so there'll be a ball up.
I believe the black lines, if I'm right, are for the frost in the morning games in the juniors. It blends in with the frost, the white, so they've gone to the black lines.
Frosty weather in the northern suburbs here in Hurstbridge. As Shaw emerges from the pack and kicks that one up into the centre square. Meeting it, Florence did very well, shrugged one off. Handball to the outside, Buchanan wedges that one into the forward pocket and Green takes the mark. Good composed kick there from Buchanan, who spotted the run of young Kyle Green, the 17-year-old. He's playing just his 14th game this afternoon, Kyle Green. Played 11 last season in Division 1 in his breakout year. Still a lot of developing to do for the young man, still in high school. Kyle Green lining up on right half forward, copping a bit of lip from Simpson on the mark. Left foot kick doesn't have the distance. Harvey goes for the big high fly. And I think he's given away a free kick for an unrealistic attempt, and Thompson will have it at full back.
And he's played on, but his kick was smothered off the boot there, so it's trickling wide to his lookalike there in Mullane. He's wrapped up in a tackle. North supporters wanted holding the ball. The umpire said, no, I'll take the footy. So it's locked up inside North's attacking 50, where it's been for most of this second quarter. It has to be said, as Cruiser goes up unopposed. Bit of volleyball going on now. Ball slapped forward and back. North Heidelberg trying to barge through. There might have been McDonald there. And now a kick out from defence from Hurstbridge is wide, out of bounds on the full. And it's in very dangerous hands. It's Shane Harvey, probably a fraction beyond his range, 55 metres out, but you wouldn't put anything beyond this man.
Has kicked a few long bombs in his time, Shane Harvey. The man on the mark standing 55 metres out, decides for a better option, Harvey, and kicks to Scannell, who was leading into the forward pocket. He takes the mark. He's on a pretty tight angle, though, and still about 40 metres out from goal. The ideal option would be to dish it off from this place on the field, but hasn't got too many free options inside the forward 50, so might have to go it alone. Trent Scannell right up against the fencing here at Ben Freelay Oval, puts his left foot through it, keeps it pretty tight. Keeps it too tight, in fact, out of bounds on the full. Yeah,
we're not in the ideal spot to get a real good judge of that goal line there. The short kick from full back was dangerous, but Simpson was up to the task. Took the mark with Kyle Green bearing down on him. And now Simpson told to go, and he goes on his right, out wide. It's a fantastic kick, and it's marked on the chest there on that far side there. Looks like it's Milne, who goes on straight away onto the left foot, kick into the corridors. A dangerous one. It's picked off, and taking the big mark overhead is big Michael Florence, who again goes by hand. I think the Rovers know to get behind him. Jake Brown, it's the best way to get a kick. Goes wide to Harvey, who left foot ball inside for Scannell, who took a great two-grab mark there over Ryan Burton. And he can go back from similar range to the previous attempt. This time a bit of a neater angle for him, but doesn't look all that confident.
Scannell's going to have to do a bit of work here. Goes for the short option instead. Finds Jesse Tardio. He takes a mark standing just inside the forward 50.
A bit disappointed there, the Hurstbridge side, because Scannell never looked confident. The eyes were darting around. He feigned to go backwards a couple of times, so it was obvious he was going to pass that one off, and still Tardio was able to lead into open space.
So Tardio will take the shot at goal. He's standing maybe just a bit tighter than a 45-degree angle. Right foot kick on the way, favouring his side of the grounds. And he's put that one through. Jesse Tardio, the 21-year-old he is this year, puts through North Heidelberg's third goal of the afternoon, and they now lead by a point. It's 3-5-23 Hurstbridge, North Heidelberg 3-6-24.
Well, they've definitely controlled, I think, if you count the last 5 minutes of that first quarter, they've controlled probably 10 minutes of the game, if you consider the opening 5 minutes of this quarter as well. So that wouldn't be... Look, Hurstbridge wouldn't be too happy with that, considering they did kick away to a little bit of a lead.
Well, you talked to Rob Dyson. He was disappointed with the last 5 minutes. I think North's been even in more control in the opening 7 minutes of this quarter, as the ball now in the hands of Florence. He tried to wheel one around the corner, but it was cut off by Riley Redding at halfback. And now he kicks to the space of Braden Shaw. Fumbled first time around, had time to handle to Grimes, who ran into a brick wall. Was able to get it back to Shaw by hand. Tilly, now Redding, just beat through some traffic. Got a dinky handball to Cruiser, who now handballs off to Lachlan East. Can stream in on goal. Flying shot from 50. Won't have the carry. Oh, Mark dropped on the goal line. Should have been taken there. Looked like it was Burton. Dropped what he'd normally take, and the ball trickles over for a minor score. Scores now level at 3 goals, 6-24 apiece.
So a rush behind there for Hurstbridge brings scores level again. As the kick out is turned over by North Heidelberg, and Redding will go back inside with the centering kick, looking for the man at centre half forward, but he only found the long reach overhead of Florence, who handballs out the back to Gilbert, and Gilbert goes short to the half-back flank for Buchanan. Buchanan dishes that one off and then chips up the line. Mark taken on the near side there by Gleeson. Gleeson handballs back to the outside run. The right foot kick towards half forward. There's all Hurstbridge players back. And Barbera, who's been very clean and composed in defence, takes the mark. Handballs off now to Burton. Burton spreads that one to the far side. A good mark taken there on the outer side. Milne. Defensive side of centre wing for Hurstbridge. In front of all the fans lined up on the fence. Right foot kick up towards half forward. Underneath it, Chris Burton couldn't take the mark. Mitch Dale will see it over the boundary line, throw in.
So nothing separating the two sides on the scoreboard at the moment as we tick near the 10-minute mark of this second quarter. Umpire throws the ball back in dispute now, trying to crush through there. Looked like it was Habchi, was dispossessed. Now Hurstbridge with the football in the hands of Simpson. Flying shot on the left is wide, won't have the carry. Spoiled and towards the boundary. Great effort there by Bramich, and he fists the ball out of bounds for his side. Though it's only 10 metres out from the Hurstbridge attacking goal, looking for their first major of this second quarter.
3-6 apiece. We've gone almost 10 minutes here in the second term. Ball to be thrown back in deep in the forward 50 here.